It's recording. All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to try to clap. Thank you very much. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to my channel. This is my first podcast in English. I have an amazing guest. I would say it's a pleasure. He's not famous. He's not maybe a character, and probably you are still working on YouTube. But well, welcome back, guys. I am Ricky Sanmar. This is my first podcast in English. I've been doing some content about Poland in Spanish, but now I'm coming back in English to put it on my own channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. This is gonna be, as the title says, we're gonna discuss about how I arrived in Poland. Here's in my right side Arief, one of my best friends in Poland, and in general in life. Actually, we are trying to work together. And thank you very much for coming. He's visiting Poland because he went back to his Indonesia, that's his native country, but now he's back. So I tell him, well, man, what better than you to discuss about our life, how we got here, the life of being an expat, because we studied the same career, the same master thesis, the same master program in the Jagiellonian University, and a lot of people has been reaching me out in order to know how to get here, how's lifestyle, and we have even questions at the end that I would like to discuss with you so we can answer them. But first, I would like to have a pretty organic or conversation with you. But first of all, Arief, please welcome to my podcast, Ricky Sanmar. Let's big claps. Woohoo! Hey, Arief. Okay, introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, thank you for having me. My name is Arif. I'm Indonesian, and I've been spending my time for I think 3 years in Poland, particularly as a student. And like in the meantime, I was looking for a job as well. So I would say the transition from being a student and then a career, a professional is like. I would say my destiny now in Poland.
Yeah, man. A lot of people reach me. Like I would say, I will receive at least 20 messages, especially people from Asia, Turkey. Well, Asia quite general. I would say Indonesia. I have a lot of people talking to me from. I had a lot of people from India as well. So it's Asia, Turkey. So most of the people that are looking forward to come to Poland are looking, of course, in English. That's why I decided to make this my first podcast in English about how to get here. So, man, I would like to make the first question. How did everything started, your journey? How did you decide to come to Poland? It was like the people that has been reaching me, like you just saw something on the internet, or you had a special connection with Poland before?
I think I don't have a specific reason to come to Poland, but I realized if you would like to live abroad, there's like always 3 options.
Yeah.
The first is like either you study, or you're working, and you get married to the native.
That basically those 3 things you did it.
Well, we can
spoiler alert.
Later.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So it's like the first thing I was looking for was like how to be a student. Of course, I was finishing my study in Indonesia and been working for a couple of years, and it was quite easy to get here as a student, So I'm gonna maybe tell you the perspective as a student, applying as a student.
All right.
And then, for a student, apparently Poland is, I would say, they're like emerging either in economy and education. And then they're trying to open as much as possible opportunity for people who's not living in European Union, for example.
Yeah, I'm agree.
And then I applied and they accept my application. It was quite easy. Everything was smooth. I have no trouble whatsoever. It was 2018, and I think the regulation and the policy was not that changing. So I think it's still easy if you apply as a student, but maybe again, the administration thing is quite difficult for some people. It's
a pain in the ass.
Exactly.
Man, it's YouTube, by the way, and in my channel you're open to say you're pretty free to complain.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I've been in touch with some people, and they were like having different kind of problems. Either they were not accepted for the visa because it's suspicious for the, let's say, for the embassy to get them here as a student.
Yeah.
And even you're like maybe have this kind of opportunity, but again, once you're here, this study is not at what you expect, and then apparently you're looking for something else.
That's a very good question. Just for context, we both met at the work. That's a pretty funny thing. We met at work. It was love at first sight.
Yeah.
Like I came to you in the kitchen. I grabbed you from the back, and I told you, man, I want to be your friend. We were friends, and one day, if I'm not wrong, we met in the uni. And I was like, hey, or I don't. Oh no, I told you in the kitchen, like at work. Hey man, and what you doing? And I'm like, I'm studying here, and like, oh, me too. I'm studying in Jagiellonian University. That is the main and most important university of Krakow. There's where we live. And you told me, oh really? And what master degree you're studying? And I was like, business and finance management. And you were like, man, me too.
I'm like the same, yeah.
So love at first sight. The destiny had to put us together.
Yeah.
So my first question, man, what do you think about the program that actually you already ended, and I am the thesis, just waiting some months to defend it? Tell me very briefly what you think about the education, how to get in, how fast. What do you think about the quality of the studies, though, in general?
I would say, like I said before, it went pretty smooth. And that means the education, for example, was not trying, to drag you away from them being educated, right?
Yeah.
So, since they were opening the opportunity, they're trying to get foreigners to study in Poland. They're like improving the standard as well, like the quality. I personally feel satisfied about the study.
All right.
Yeah, and then if we talk about let's say the quality of the study and what is the outcome after the studying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the requirement for student is just like you have the bachelor degree. That's all.
All right.
And then afterwards, like the studying process was not so demanding. You can do part-time job or even full-time job. Most of the people, they went even further for the full-time job, and they just left the study anyway.
Yeah, that was my case.
Yeah.
Because you did it in a part-time, and I don't know if you remember, man.
Yeah.
But I was watching you, and I like, man, I think I should go like your style, because I was coming back and forward from the office. I was really suffering, but thanks to God, the pandemic came, and now I'm everything doing remotely. But
exactly.
Yeah. So I just to reinforce your point, I'm agree with you. I think that Poland is an amazing option due to the new reality of the average millennial. I mean, of course, if you're rich or millionaire, of course, it's a very bad investment to come to Poland because, well, yeah, of course, you can still the biggest and most important institutions will always be Germany, United States, the United Kingdom, but Poland gives you a great opportunity to get involved into the culture and the mentality of studying, being focused, and the European mentality.
Yeah.
You have the quality of living in a safe city and having professors that are, I would say, experimented in the corpo, and that's something that is pretty cool. But of course, as you will mention, it's not like, wow, like I learned something from the other world and now I'm a super, I'm ready to be the CEO of any company.
Yeah.
I think those things, there's only two options to achieve it, that you work and you develop your skills, or you study in Harvard or something. So a very good recommendation for me in that case is that Poland is cool because it's cheap. If I'm not wrong, I don't know how much you spend, but I want to say some numbers here. I spent for the whole semester 6,000 zloty, so it's not much in my opinion in comparison with other universities, and especially with the same quality and recognition, it's super almost cheap.
Yeah. I think it's quite affordable for foreigners as well.
Yeah. I think everybody, coming back to your point, what is really a pain in the ass is the process, maybe. How did you suffer with that?
Like what the process?
Like, the migration thing. Well, moving to another country where the language is so weird, the culture is so different.
Yeah.
That's the big step, being quite frank. What do you think? How did you suffer though?
I would say, like I came to Poland just alone myself.
Yeah.
I had no experience whatsoever. I didn't know the languages. But again, I would say, in my case, I try to learn about the culture first. In the way, are they straightforward, or do they really consider foreigner as like some suspicious like person or something? So like we need to put that in mind, and I would say as I'm a student, they really lose they're losing the restriction. For example, like I just need to show my, let's say, my student card that I'm a student, like I'm certified as a student. So it's not like I'm illegal here. I'm here for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So they give me the carta pobito, the resident permit.
Carta pobito. Yeah.
Yes, and then it didn't really take me a lot. It just like maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, up to 2 weeks. And it's not like troublesome, but preparing it. Like we need to gather more and more information from some people, especially, let's say if you're coming from the country, then maybe try to reach the person in the group, for example, because the person that Poland has the group for foreigners. They're like sharing information, and we need to dig more information about whatever basically we need, right?
Yeah, I remember at the beginning, my first 3 days here, the first thing that I do is that I got into Facebook and I tried to search for a group of Mexicans in Poland, and I got amazed of how there is a group of Mexicans, all are in the same group. And I was like, what the fuck with the Mexicans, that the first thing they come here is to find a group. But then you realize how important it is.
Yes.
Because basically they all have the same questions, and just by scrolling down, you can find out how to close a contract with your renter, how to pay this tax, how to create this thing, even some inspiration of how to go back to how to create a business, how to anything, so you learn a lot from that. So that's a very good advice. Believe it or not, you have to find out your community, because Indonesian people think in some Indonesian style, and Mexicans, we think in a Mexican style, like, okay, what do I do, like what will be the best program, and sometimes it's better to feel it from somebody of your country.
Yeah, also the problem might be the same, because like we have different passport. Like European Union will be treated differently when you're like having super weak passport. In my case, it was really important that I need to provide some money in my account.
Oh, that was a thing, yes. Yeah.
Exactly. But again, if you have, let's say, the community will help you to to overcome whatever issues you have with the with the administration. And the process is, again, it's tricky.
Yeah.
So you better be having a really good backup, like at least the information, the person, or whatever that might be necessary.
Talking about that point, I had the chance, and I think that's a hack number 2, that by that far I was already with a girlfriend. And I don't know about yourself, if you were with your girlfriend at the beginning already.
Not yet.
Well, I was already with my girlfriend, and thanks to her, if you're watching this, for me it was super easy, man.
Exactly.
Like, compared, I'm thinking that if I will be completely alone, because in migration office, there's nothing on English, and don't even expect that they will make any effort in speak to you in English. So it will be a completely pain in the ass. Now I defend myself on Polish. I already kind of understand what kind of things I have to do and what to react. But the first 3 days you are lost, man. You can get a huge depression that you don't know where the fucking office is.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So I remember that there is like 4 or 5 things that you have to bring. That is like all your diplomas, everything have to be translated, your citizen paper. And of course, the most important, paying for all the services that it requires the immigration office. And if I'm not wrong, the most important one is to have an insurance, and you have enough funds in your Polish bank account.
Yeah.
So maybe the one more, one less, but you have to keep it on count. So, man, now that we discussed about that, tell me a little bit about the lifestyle. Did you like it? Because now you came back to Indonesia.
Yeah. I would say life in Krakow is the best.
All right.
For me, because like you can enjoy the park, the atmosphere. We have river here. We have beautiful sunset every day.
Yeah.
And we also have mountain that's not far away, which is like 2 hours by car. And if we would like to go a bit to the north, it's also offers some, I think it's doable to do everything in Krakow, especially in Poland. So I would say my life quality has significantly improved by the time I stepped in the first place in Krakow or in Poland.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, and like it always comes with the price, right? And then and surprisingly, Poland, I would say, we can put it this way: if you'd like to experience the five of Western European, but at the same time enjoying the culture of the Slavic, which is the kind of like Central and East Europe, Poland is the perfect place for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe let's say the lifestyle is a bit to the Western, but the price is, I would say, it's cheaper compared to the Western country in Europe.
I think that there is a point for all those who are thinking about coming to Poland or are interested in how living in Poland. There is a point that actually when you achieved all that, like we have our degree and everything, then you are starting to really thinking about if I will have a long-term life here. And there's where the problem might be, because believe it or not, it's if you are looking forward to have an amazing career or something, I think that it's not a country for that, in my opinion. I think that it's a country that you can have a good life, but it's not like a super capitalized country, you know what I mean? I think that even countries in development, you have bigger chances, because there is like huge companies, irregulated taxes, so they are having all their buildings there. But here is very controlled, a lot of work, but all on the same middle size, let's say. Of course there are like top positions, but these ones are occupied by even members of the original countries from where this company is. What I mean is, like, if you're working in a German company, probably the manager or the CEO of the division here is German. So I think that is something that you have to keep in mind, don't you think? Yeah. But there is a lot of opportunities that you can learn a lot, but eventually I think that a lot of people will go back to their countries, like in your case that you are Indonesian.
I would say living in Poland for quite a while, maybe I would give myself like maybe until 35, which is like maybe 5-10 years.
All right.
It's like reliable. Yeah, in a way that I can still work a lot, I can still work quite hard, and I can get the money. For example, like I can save more money than if compared to the country where I'm living. Yeah. But then spending the whole life, I would say, it's not just for me, for foreigners, especially for example, the way they give you the social security, like the health insurance. If you're foreigners, you'll still be foreigners. It doesn't matter if you're like staying here for some times, unless it's a private insurance, for example, right? Yeah. So like it doesn't matter how long we are staying here, as long as we are foreigners, we can say we're not gonna be having the same opportunity as a local. Right. For example, let's say if you would like to make your own business, you need to go through a bunch of administrative paperwork, right? You experienced that one. Couple of times. And then if you're a local, it's just like it's not that hard. But as a foreigner, it's like maybe double or even triple. And there's some you need to have your money in your pocket right away, and then do not rely on any investment, like a fund. So you need to have your money, and then you start a business. Not just like I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna make business to have money. That one is not accepted in Poland, at least as far as I'm concerned. I think that this is the same in all countries, but there are two things. For example, in America, it's exactly the same or even more difficult to open a business or do anything, but there are two things. That there is a lot of money there, like everything you do, if you put it and you start working, you make money and you're organized. And the second of all, the language is not that hard, in my opinion. Like everybody knows somebody, or you can learn English somehow. I mean, it's more popular. But when you arrive here, like, man, from the month one, if you want to give the next step after your working life, let's say that you want to create a business or something, even creating a house, it has a lot of things that you have to do, creating a business or anything, and it's everything in Polish, and you have to know where to go and all those things. So it might be hard to give the second step. Exactly. So I am agree with you. There's only two ways to stay in Poland.
that you in somehow are obsessed or in love of Poland, so you learn the language, you learn the culture, and you focus on that, or you just come here for what it is, to take experience, have fun, and start thinking about what you're gonna fucking do in your country when you have to go back, or any other.
Or you can start business here, but finding some partner in the local.
Well, I think that eventually. Wait, let me check. I think that eventually, because I know, and I have friends that have here 10, 15 years. It's a quite natural pattern that you find or a wife, or you find such a good friends that you eventually create a business, like everywhere else. So, but I think that it's necessary that you keep it on mind if you're. If our viewers are are looking forward for information, to keep it in mind though. But man, next question, and I like to get into it. Tell me a little bit about your. Well, it's related to the long-term relationship. You got married, for example, already with a Polish citizen. This doesn't imply that you might see a future here.
I think it has some, odd input to me.
Yeah.
In a way that probably I'm gonna raise my kid here, or probably I would like to spend, like half of my life here, and then just coming back and forth to Indonesia, right?
Yeah.
But again, it was like, I'd rather stay in Indonesia to spend, like the elderly life.
Yeah.
Kind of things, and for now I think we're still in consideration. Either we stay here, for some years, having let's say saving money, because apparently here is bigger, right, compared to Indonesia, but it's not necessarily, for example. But like for me, if you like to come to Poland, you need to think like, what if I stay there for 10 years? Maybe you're gonna have this.
You have being realistic. You have to think like that.
Exactly.
Because it's not like, okay, I'm gonna go to study and that's all. I mean, you can. But if you came to Poland just to study, it's a waste of money and time like shit. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm just gonna get into that relationship for having fun with this girl. You're wasting your time like fuck, man.
Exactly.
So you have to think like that. If you're thinking in Poland, it's gonna be a pattern from at least 5 years. If you want to experience at least the beginning of what is real Poland.
Yeah. I agree. 5 years. I give myself 5 years, and apparently, it's soon to be like the 5th years of me staying here.
Yeah, because I have 3 things that you have to do in a country. First of all is that you develop yourself, like you study, you're working. The other is that you have to fucking learn the language. Exactly. It's a waste of time, in my opinion, that you came to Poland, even if it's a terrible language, even if it's hard as fuck. It's a waste of time, no? It's like it's a free course in the streets that you can learn, no? And you're into that. How is Polish?
Polish is not that good, but I think I can live with this Polish for now.
No tak, ja mówię bardzo dobrze po polsku. A ty?
Trochę rozumiem.
Man, the Polish people, if they see this, they will be ashamed.
I don't think so.
No, they will be proud, maybe.
They'll be proud.
Yeah.
We're trying to speak. We're trying to understand the language. Even,
Yeah.
And the good thing of, Polish as a language, when we speak this language, especially to babcia, it is grandma on the street or grandpa on the street, they'll be expecting you, if you're staying in Poland, then you speak Polish, right? But it's not always like that. For example, I'd say to this babcia, to this grandma, if you're traveling, we speak the language as well. But like again, the feelings of them thinking that Polish is let's say the pride, then it's also good for at some point,
Yeah.
So I'll be trying myself to speak in Polish, and also they will basically happy if I speak with them in Polish,
Yeah.
Especially we're in Poland, so just at least we can speak the language at the level that we need it. Like you're going to the shop, you order yourself a beer, or this kind of thing that is super substantial,
Yeah, it's super necessary. But being quite frank, if you are not this type of haters, because I know a lot that come here and they are just coming here for their I would say primary needs to cover, that is working and living. If you're one of those, you're fucked up. But if you're interested, you're rational people that you understand that you can here to another country. I think you can if you get with friends along of Polish local people, matter of 6 months and you already can go for a drink. You can understand some simple conversations.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid of Polish. It's not that bad, but certainly, it's one of the hardest languages.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, I have a question, and this is more like personal. What opportunities you see? Personal view, no, not personal of something.
I know.
But what is your in your perception a possible cool opportunities that Poland can give you if you do the things right, like you work hard and stuff. Like, for example, do you see a good market to establish a company, or do you see that Poland is going to be great, that it might be becoming an important country of Europe, or how do you see that in a longer perspective?
You know, in my point of view, I think I'm gonna put this into priorities, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm married now, and I'm more concerned on how I'm gonna feed my families, like what kind of things I will bring to the table. So it's like,
how many kids you're planning to get?
I don't know. I'm looking for it.
Wow, girls, get an Indonesian. Yeah, all right.
So basically, like for now, I'm gonna be pursuing career that is good enough for me, that like I can save the money for investment or saving the money for like just for the business maybe in the next 5-7 years for now. In the meantime, my family is also growing in a way that maybe I'm gonna have another member in the family, like the kid. Then in the meantime, I'm gonna try to maximize the opportunity, like let's say the social security, like free healthcare. I mean, it's not really free, but I pay every month, for example, with the insurance, because it's like a mandatory. And also, let's say, when it comes to study, if we learn Polish and understand at some level, we can have a free education as well until I guess. Until,
I mean, if you become a citizen.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah. In my case, I have a family who's
Polish,
fuck,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that's also the reason for me that I can stay a bit longer here.
Yeah.
But for me, for example, if the economy in the macro perspective, Poland is a good country to live in. It depends on the city, for example. Like if you have management, technology, finance kind of background, I think Krakow is the best city. But if you have some more like maybe engineering stuff that is not really related to the technology, for example, like you have a electrical degree and electrical engineering degree, and maybe chemistry degree in engineering, this kind of like scientific. I think Krakow is not really suitable place.
I think that even the north, even in Gdańsk, there's a lot of companies. And
there are many companies focusing on that kind of specific field, right? In Krakow is mostly like management, technology, finance, and investment, I guess, for now. That's what I see from Krakow, particularly. And I think if I were to continue my life here, I will survive. The opportunities are there, and the companies are growing. The numbers of let's say, at least in the specific area, they're building the business district. Like I think the process of one of the apartment next to Wisła, the river. There's like a new building for just for the workers, and at the same time also the student numbers are growing. So I think they have these opportunities, but at the same time they're trying to attract in simultaneously in multiple fields, basically. Yeah.
I completely agree with you. The only thing that I would like to reinforce on your point is that you are a businessman, the same as me, in somehow.
Yeah, I'm trying to be one.
You are a passionate entrepreneur, even if we are not making money yet.
Yeah.
But what I see, it's a tremendous opportunity because, as you mentioned, the working class is growing, and at the same time, as you can see, maybe we are not having big wages, or maybe our wages are not enough for buying a house or something. Sorry, my dog just farted like pretty bad, right?
That's okay.
Okay, and it happens a lot, Morty, I'm sure. So there is a lot of I will say a working class that has enough budget to buy certain type of things. And I think that people from abroad, like in my case Mexican, or you in your case Indonesian, we have a lot of fresh ideas. And I'm not saying that we can become millionaires, but I think that with a company here, and if you make it great, you can access this, for example, 10,000 a month, something that it would be really hard to make in a company. But I think that with a company you can achieve it. And with 10,000 zloty a month, for example, here, that everything is basically included, like education for your kids, healthcare and stuff. It's basically, that's all for you. For exactly. Investing in a flat, for having a car, and you know, the European calm and safetyness. You don't have to worry that much about saving that much money if you have a house and a car. So it can give you a good lifestyle.
Yeah.
But it will require to, first of all, take the decision that you're gonna stay here.
Exactly.
That's the hardest thing. Because working, as I mentioned you previously, we started the podcast. The hard thing of making the thesis or any other project, it's not about doing it. It's about knowing what you have to do.
Yeah.
So in Poland, the opportunities are there, but you have to take the decisions if you're gonna do it or not. Man, I am making the question. Do you have any question about me, or you want to add something important about Poland?
One more thing is like, I have this question here.
Okay, well, we are gonna read. What about if we read each question?
Just like one question.
We have questions that people have sent me.
Yeah,
people
let's say
interested.
It's more like universities studying and working basically. It's like how many hours per week should I attend the university?
Oh, okay, hacks, practical hacks.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
tell me your experience.
And I mean, for me, I was, since the university was not demanding, as long as you're like, there are some classes that I need to attend.
Let's be honest. The program that we studied, it's created for bringing workers. Let's be honest. It's not hard at all.
Exactly.
Not hard at all. The only thing is that you have to fulfill the requirements, that is like making the fucking homeworks and study at least 24 hours before the exam. And you're done.
Everybody's doing that, I guess.
Well, yeah, but maybe people is expecting that maybe, wow, you have to like prepare for the exam for 1 week before. Not about that, man. Like, easy peasy.
But I think we need to have the basic at least, We can speak about it, but because we know basic, right? But I mean, for example, my friend who's studying law or like philology.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned our program.
Yeah, but the program basically in general, everyone can learn about it. It's super easy. It's not demanding. The professor, they understood that in our case, most people are working as well. So, they don't really think of having a complete student life. I mean, we can work as well. We can study as well. And, and have another life probably. So, again, if you consider yourself as a student here, I think it's a good step, especially as your initial step. First you become a student, and in the meantime you find a job. You're gonna be working for the company maybe up to 39 hours. It's still part-time though. Full-time is 40 hours. I was working at that time. I was working for I think 37, 39 hours.
Wow.
Or just like 1 hour for being full-time.
I was working full-time. Don't recommend it, sincerely.
I know.
Don't recommend it. I did it because I'm crazy and stupid, but I gained a lot of anxiety. Completely useless, because it's not like I was making thousands, I was just maybe earning 30% more than you, and fucking destroying myself 100% more than you. But I mean, it depends on everybody's selection.
It depends on the company as well. Some companies are also demanding. In our case, the university was not so demanding, but the companies did demand you something, right? So like I didn't take the opportunity to be like completely 100% full time. But like if I feel like I would like to work more, then I went for it. And so but most of the time I was.
But I think that the people might be interested in if it's factable and easy to get a job here when you're studying. What do you think?
I would say, as I mentioned, the opportunities are here. I think it's easy to get the job here.
I think that it's not easy. Like, oh my god, in 3 days you're done.
Yeah, of course.
But
I'm not saying that.
I would recommend you to bring a budget for surviving 3 months as maximum.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be a chance, even if it's a super shitty thing, like clicking one thing for in a keyboard for the 8 hours. Maybe at the beginning you will have a job like that, but there's gonna be jobs for they are looking forward for a lot of people who speak a lot of languages.
Yeah, especially study business and finance and management.
Yeah.
Normally they're looking for this kind of particular fields,
Yeah.
Like I said, if you know finance or accounting or management or operational or some, like IT gigs.
Yeah.
Things.
Yeah.
It's gonna be easy for you.
Yeah, I want to make a small disclosure here now that you mentioned that. We studied business and finance management, and at the beginning I was like, man, like I don't want to get into finance. Like I was thinking in this mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I was having this mentality of maybe I'm gonna be stuck on here. But there is so many fields in the companies. Like for example, I passed already through HR, I passed through procurement, analysis, business data.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool. I think that business and IT is the most demanded jobs right now in
exactly.
in the city. Next question, man. What do we have?
I think that's all pretty much.
Yeah. Well, man, we had an amazing, valuable 36 minutes. I normally record in 40 minutes, so I will take these last 5 minutes in maybe some recommendations. Something you want to say?
I would recommend maybe like first observe and do research. I spent I think 1 month just to get to Poland. Like exactly 1 month, like 2 hours every day in 1 month.
Yeah.
So I get quite bunch of information, and then I decided to go alone. I went here without knowing anything, but again I have this information in my brain directory. So I just need to go for it, like connecting the dots that I'm gonna be having at the end of the day. Yeah. So learn a lot. Let's talk to to people who lives here, and do research. Yeah.
Me recommendation, because I think that we are young people, and we have to talk straight, and I want to give you my straight advice. Do what this guy did.
What?
Hack the system, and somehow like I do. If you are planning here to come in a healthy way, like I'm gonna study and create my life, you're wasting your time, man. When you go to another country that it's not that developed, it's a very bad investment that you take a chill. So come here for everything. If you can get married fast, get married. Find a way to get the citizenship fast. I mean, I'm not saying that you got married for papers.
No.
But if you got a girlfriend, like, why not negotiating this part of maybe she can help you? Come here to make friends fast. Take the jobs, any job, and the university, in my opinion, if it's not something that passionates you, of course, take it just as a paper, and enjoy it, of course. That would be my advice, and of course enjoy the game. Like me, that I have a Morty, I have a dog watching at us. You got a girlfriend. We had a lot of fun. We're going out, and of course the experience is amazing. And nothing more to add. Thank you very much, guys, for watching us. I hope that it was useful. And something that you want to add, Ari?
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe and drop everything, the
Follow.
questions and the comment below.
Comment below. Follow us. What's your Instagram, man?
Inspire Alter.
Inspire Alter. I will put it down in the comment box.
I'll be famous.
I hope so. I think there is a lot of people who is always looking forward to know about Poland, but now it's the first time that I'm actually talking straight about it and my personal life. And it's gonna be interesting to see the reaction. Follow me, Ricky Sanmar. This is gonna be appearing right here, and it's gonna be appearing right now. Inspire
Alter.
Wow.
That's kind of weird name. But
How alternative.
exactly.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Love you all. See you. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will make more content. I hope so. All right. See you guys.